Dust has settled on the Jimny project. What has it all cost us? Well, me, actually, personally. It didn't cost my son anything. But hey, it's what you do for your kids, I suppose. So I bought the car £900, February 2023. I bought it MOT expired, so not MOT failed. So in other words, I didn't really know the condition or the true condition of the car as declared by a tester. I only know what I saw when I went to look at the car. I knew that I was buying a car with rotten front wheel arches, but I didn't know about the slam panel at the time. I knew that it had a rotten boot floor, and I knew that the inner seals had also rotted out and got holes in. I did also see the ends of the chassis rails were pretty poor, that had been repaired, but it looked like a plate job rather than a rebuild job. Tow bar, again, very rotten on the ends of the brackets. Knew about that, but the state of the chassis, I wasn't really aware of the state of the chassis until I started prodding it about and looking at it. So I knew maybe 60% of the repairs that needed doing. I paid 900, so I think if it was an expired, a failure, maybe you'd pay £600 to £900 depending on the state of the rest of the car, I suppose. The rest of this car, it's well worn. It's done 138,000 miles. The interior is quite worn. It's got half leather in it though, but that hasn't particularly been looked after. But it's not split or anything. The condition of the upholstery is fairly good. The plastics are starting to age with the fading with the sunshine. It's had a bit of a hard life inside. I think a person had dogs in this a lot. There was a lot of dog debris, if you like. So yeah, it's had a hard life, I think, but what we need it for, you know, I felt it was a good, decent buy at the time. So £900 to buy it. All of my parts for the bodywork came from Jimny bits, so they all had to be shipped here. So the costs that I'm going to read out are the costs for the parts, VAT and shipping. So the boot floor was £210. The cross member that goes underneath it was £128. The slam panel was £363. The rear body mounts were £62. The fuel pipes were £250. They came direct from Suzuki because they only was original. I also had some side skirt clips at £20 for 10, so they're £2 each, just so because they just break and, you know, get all brittle. And then I had sundries for like abrasives, cutting discs, grinding discs, wire wheels, paint, under seal, welding consumables, all of which I use on other things. So I've allowed £200 for consumables. So the total bodywork parts, including the consumables, postage and packing where needed, is £1,234. So with £900 to buy it, I spent £1,234 on body parts. Service parts, exhaust gaskets, because I had the exhaust off, I had to weld the exhaust up, put new gaskets on, £14. Rear brake shoes, £22.30. Anti-roll bar links, £23 for the pair. I had another new battery, that was a small battery, it's only £35. I had a bulb for the MOT. Service items, £55, that was belts, filters, plugs, etc. Had a new tyre on it for the MOT, that was £70, and the MOT itself was £50. So total service costs and MOT parts were £338. I've still got to put a rear wiper on it because that's not part of the MOT, and the wiper blade is pretty much worn out, and also the reversing lights don't work, and I need a new reversing light switch. So I know about those, but neither of those are MOT fails, so I'm not worried they're not covered in this cost. But I've checked out the switch and it's not got any continuity, so the switch is knackered. And then on top of that, I might put a new tow bar on, but then again the tow bar is anything between £170 and £220, £230, depending on who you buy it from. I have the material and I have a welder, so I may actually make a new tow bar, make some angle brackets. I've got a piece of box section. It's a detachable tow bar, a swan neck thing, so I can weld the brackets for that onto a new piece of box. See how we go. So total parts and cost of the vehicle was £2,642.30. That's what it owes me in parts and purchase price. Now when it comes to labour, I've estimated 100 hours labour. 100 hours works out at about 12.5 days, and I think that a body shop would do this in 2 weeks, 10 working days, which is 80 hours labour at an 8-hour day. Cost of labour per hour, £50. I had that in my head as a reasonable figure, and when I googled it, that is an average figure, £50 per hour. Based on a 10-day working week, or 2 weeks, that would be £4,000 in labour. Based on 100 hours, which is 12.5 days, so 2.5 weeks, that's about £5,000 in labour. Now clearly, I'm never going to get the labour back. I mean, that's a given these days. One has to decide whether the time you put into it and the effort that you put in is worth it at the end of the day. For us, it is. I've enjoyed doing it. I've educated myself. What I've learned doing the Jimny is going to be directly translated into another big project that I have in the garage, welding project, which is definitely worth it. This, one could argue, is not worth doing. It's probably scrap, because when you add the parts and the labour together and the purchase price, this car owes me £7,642, and it's definitely not worth that. Perhaps 2,600 I might be able to sell it for. That would get me my parts back, and it would get me my purchase price back. Might be lucky and sell it for £3,000 with an MOT, fresh MOT on it, which is what it's got now, and all the documented restoration that I've done on the videos and things. But again, it's worth what somebody is prepared to pay, of course. But 7,600, no, that's not coming back to me. But I've learned stuff, I've enjoyed doing it, so put a price on that at the end of the day. You know, it's as simple as that, really. That's how you've got to look at it. The car is going to be useful to us. The car is going to be towing a trailer. It's going to be towing a trailer across muddy rally fields, possibly. It's got 4-wheel drive. It's got space. It's not expensive to run, particularly. There's worse out there. There's better as well. But it's practical and it's useful and it's a bit of fun. And I've enjoyed doing it. And my son will enjoy driving it. And I probably will too. So, you pay your money and you take your choice. I've spent quite a lot of time doing it. I've spent quite a lot of money on it, but we're going to enjoy it for the rest of the summer and see where we go from there. So I hope you've enjoyed watching the series. When I do the tow bar, I may do a video on that as a separate video, build the tow bar and fit that. I may just buy one and fit it. It's 6 bolts and job's done, so you know, it's not an epic. We'll see how we go with that. But as I say, I hope you've enjoyed the series and the project as it's gone along. Hope that it's been of use to you, and that you've got something from it. And if nothing else, you're motivated to do your own project, whatever it might be. My next one sits in the garage. It's a bit of a rare machine. There's plenty about, but in the grand scheme of things, or relatively, it's becoming rarer by the year. So I'll be looking forward to getting done on that. And what I've learned on the Jimny, I will apply my skills to that, and that one definitely is worth doing, definitely. That will come up sometime towards the end of the year on YouTube, so keep posted on that one. So please like and subscribe if you enjoy what we do and want to follow our mechanical adventures. And for now, take care, and I'll see you on the next one. This is the Jimny project, over and out.